I do remember that I didn't know what to expect, when I consulted with Rodina. And I was a little bit skeptical because I'm not really a believer of those tarot and things like that. So I was like, is this like somebody gonna try to read my future or talk about my past? And it was nothing at all like that.
It's not hula.
It's not hula, right? I don't like hula.
Yeah.
I don't believe in hula.
Okay.
I believe that everybody, you have like a destiny that it can shift according to the things, the way you act throughout your life. Things can change, but basically you choose your path.
So you think you were probably skeptic because of the cards, right? But then again, it's really more on with tarot kasi it's really about what's going on right now and what might happen in the future or making you aware of what you need to do maybe. But with the Millennium method, with the cards, it's just making you, okay, this is the story.
Yes.
Let's make you neutral to it.
Okay, so Miss Anna, what is Millennium method? Let's define so that our amigas can understand. Hello amigas, welcome to one of my favorite hangout places, the beautiful Kenneth Cobonpue showroom in BGC, where design meets intention and every corner feels like a dream waiting to be lived. And this is the perfect place for another real, raw, and very timely conversation here on Amigas podcast. I honestly never get tired of walking through this space, looking at every piece, every detail, every texture, and imagining which ones would fit the best in my future home. But today, it is not about furniture. It's about something deeper, because just like designing a home, there comes a moment in a woman's life where she stops whispering her desires and starts questioning her silence. A moment when the applause fades, when the roles feel heavy, when being strong feels exhausting. Is this the life you choose or the life you settle for? Because we carefully design our homes, we curate the space, we choose what stays, we remove what no longer fits. So why don't we do the same with our life? Today's episode is about that moment. The moment you realize you don't just want to decorate your life. You want to redesign it. And trust me, that realization changes everything. We're welcoming an amiga who does something truly beautiful. She is an energetic medicine practitioner and certified master practitioner of the Millennium method, specializing in ancestral clearing and trauma release. And she does this work with so much heart and compassion. Amigas, please join me in giving the warmest, most excited welcome to our very special guest, Anna Reys. Hello, Miss Anna.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for the wonderful introduction.
You know what? I'm so excited because I did have an amazing experience with Millennium method. Actually, the one I went to is your friend.
My colleague.
Exactly, si Rodina.
Yes, Rodina.
Things simply like just transforming my life.
Okay, that's good. Like when you stepped out of the session, what anything came up in your
Yes, immediately. First of all, I really felt very light.
Okay.
Because I did release a lot of baggage without even knowing.
Yes.
That I had all of that, that I was carrying all of that with me. And the day after, things just started to happen.
Yeah.
I got calls from different, opportunities for work, connections with certain people just like simply blossom. And I was like, oh wow, this energy thing is real.
So you call that quantum shift.
Okay.
Yeah, so Millennium method is actually a quantum healing modality. Because what Rodina did to you was actually, you came to her on a certain intention, right? So that, think of it like an iceberg. Like your intention is the one that you can see.
Okay.
But what Rodina did and what Millennium method does is really, it works on the root issues, which is not seen, like inside the water. So it's like this root issues that's, like so big, that what Millennium method does, with quantum healing is it works on it in all 7 levels: physical, mental, emotional, psychological, karmic, psychic, and spiritual levels. With all of that, strengthening all these issues in your body, mind, and soul, you feel the quantum shift. And most often than not, our goal really is to make you neutral to your story. When you are neutral to your story, that's when you start fixing it. That's when things come in more easily. That's when you're like, okay, if you're neutral, you don't care anymore. It's like, okay, what's next? Then we create a new story.
Oh, wow. So I do remember that I didn't know what to expect, when I consulted with Rodina. And I was a little bit skeptical because I'm not really a believer of those tarot and things like that. So I was like, is this like somebody going to try to read my future or talk about my past? And it was nothing at all like that.
It's not hula.
It's not hula, right?
Yeah.
I don't like hula.
Yeah.
I don't believe in hula.
Okay.
I believe that everybody, you have like a destiny that it can shift according to the way you act throughout your life. Things can change, but basically you choose your path.
Yes.
And then when you're making hula, I feel that you're already somehow preempting, or you like making someone believe that's the only outcome.
It's
and
like,
you limit a person.
It's a seed. You call that seed planting.
Yes.
Which causes limitations. So you were probably skeptic because of the cards, right? But then again, it's really more on with tarot kasi it's really about what's going on right now and what might happen in the future, or making you aware of what you need to do, maybe. But with the Millennium method, with the cards, it's just making you, okay, this is the story.
Yes.
Let's make you neutral to it. That's the goal. When you're just like, okay, all right, I got it. I accept it. You mentioned about permission a while ago in your introduction.
Yes.
It's really also, we don't wait for permissions. We give ourselves the permission.
Okay, so Miss Anna, what is Millennium method? Let's define so that our amigas can understand.
Okay, so Millennium
A
method.
few words, like in a easy, layman's term. What is it?
Because the whole issue about Millennium method, we use quantum physics. So if we talk about quantum physics, we go technical on that, right? So, but I mean, in a few sentences, I'd see Millennium method as it's a quantum healing. Okay, quantum healing uses scalar energy to work on issues that's really deep down there, like what's really rooted down. And most often than not, kasi the issues that we think that it is just the surface.
So if you can break down in 4 easy steps, what would it be? Like, what is the first thing that you need to do?
The goal also, the step, if you're talking about, is the wiggle room. We want a wiggle room. We want to create a wiggle room of what's happening to us at the moment.
And that's what you said about not caring. You need to get to a point where, okay, whatever's happening now, I don't care.
Yes.
And then reset your mindset.
I don't care. And now it's like, okay, how can I fix it?
Okay.
What do I need? Then you become curious after that. The goal is to be curious after.
So you go through healing. When you reset your mindset, you don't care. Do we need to address? How do you, how does the traumas and the ancestors, chuchunes, come into the picture?
Usually when they come in, right, they already have an issue.
Okay.
Right? They have an issue. No, it's very seldom they come in, it's like, up to you, how you want to work on me. There's always an issue. There's an intention for the clearing. So from there, a good example would be, I want to work on my relationship with money.
Okay.
So when I tune in to her, on the client, then using the Millennium method, we go down to the root issues. What causes you
that problem
to have issues and loops and patterns of issues of losing money? So that can be coming from an inner child trauma. It can be coming from your money blueprint, to your very first experience with money, which was traumatic. It can be also coming from intergenerational trauma of your ancestors on money. So the whole thing is, the very first experience you had with money, which was traumatic, then you tell yourself, you form a certain belief. Now, okay, this will never happen to me again.
Okay.
So that moment of telling myself, this will never happen to me again, I will go and earn money, make my money, but when we have the money,
I'll keep it. I think I need to go back to Rodina.
okay, I don't want this to happen.
Okay.
Like what happened to me the very first time. But the mere fact that we don't want it to happen, we tend to manifest the opposite. So the goal is to make them neutral to what they don't want to happen first. So that when they are neutral na, then they don't care, then it just flows much easier. We don't want to put a lot of tension on losing money itself.
So you go from that to identify the problem, right? You reset yourself, identify the problem.
Yeah,
and
identify the problem, then we see what the weaknesses are. So we go boom, 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 boom. And it's not like, like just one weakness. There can be a lot of weaknesses. It can be also something that's just happening from the collective. Let's say war right now. You might be okay with it, but could be the population, the majority of the population are worried. You're also affected by that.
Of course, yes.
Right? So there are a lot of
And how do we go to healing? You reset yourself, identify the problem so you don't care, identify, and then how do we go to healing?
You go to we don't heal you, by the way.
Okay.
That's why I'm an energetic medicine practitioner. I just facilitate you because we put your body, your mind, and your soul into homeostasis to be neutral so that you will heal on your own. You will do it on your own. We just like fix the energy codes in your auric field to just align it, then give you some leads. Rodina and I would like to give tools and techniques also after the session so that there's something that you can use also to jumpstart, to put on a momentum on things. But it's really you.
Okay, so, one of the things that I found interesting when I was having my session with Rodina is that there's a tendency that you compare a lot, right? Sometimes you compare yourself to others, sometimes you compare yourself different stages of your life.
Yes.
And that somehow, it hinders you.
Absolutely. I believe in that because we will never be happy if we constantly compare ourselves with other people. But that's the problem. When we grew up in school, let's say, we were conditioned to be the best. We were conditioned to be number one. If I'm number one, then I will be noticed, then I will be deserving, and I'll be validated. So of course, when we compare, so we will tend to always compare. Remember the iceberg that I said, the one down there?
Yes.
This is the one that we want to fix and correct constantly. And we have to tell ourselves, okay, wait a minute, we're doing this again. Maybe we need to work more on ourselves because we have our own stories anyway. I can't compare my story to your story because we are all unique in our different ways. So it's really, we tend to sabotage ourselves if we do that. But unconsciously, we do it because we grew up that way. The society makes us compete also, makes us compare. Like when we just open the phone, we see like our friends or other people having like beautiful outfit or, looking really fantastic or traveling wherever. And you're at home and you're like, okay, we have no choice but to compare like, wow, that's awesome what they're doing. How come my life is not like that?
Not like that. And that's when you start to sabotage yourself.
Yes. So we have to be conscious about it. We have to catch that.
So how do we align our intentions through Millennium method? Is it like something that we do intentionally? Or is there something in the quantum, like science that you can work on so that can help us to align our intentions?
So with the Millennium method, so that's me practicing it, using the modality on you for 1 hour. Right?
Okay.
So you tell me what your goal is and then we work on it for 1 hour. After that, when you leave the room, you have that quantum shift already.
Okay.
Yes.
So immediately. That's why I could feel next day all the transformations already.
With quantum physics, kasi it's fast. Parang time is not linear.
Okay.
Right? So that means I can work on your issues even when your mom's womb or whatever she was going through, we can time travel. We can do that. It's not linear kasi.
But is it a permanent change or do we actually need to monitor our habits and our way of thinking?
You still need to monitor because of course, in my experience, the hardest thing to shift is your belief system.
Okay.
It's a belief.
So
like me also, I still have a hard time doing that.
It's a human nature, right?
Yes, also because we are constantly after a shift and then we shift already, right? But there are things like, and this is where karma comes in. With karma, it's like, it's something that you just really have to go through it.
Okay. What's
designated, that was imprinted on you. So because of that, with karma, but the beauty about karma is that when you learn your lessons from it, then it becomes really fulfilling because there's a sense of fulfillment when you pass through that karmic story that you really have to go through.
To learn, right?
To learn.
It's like it molds you to be who you need to be.
It also makes you more spiritual. You know what I mean? So with that, so going back to the belief system, so it somehow goes hand in hand. And so because the thing is with clients, when they come to me, they want a quick fix.
Yeah.
right? But the thing is, I always tell them, you have to do your work too.
So the work that they do is that they continue like
Yes.
trying to shift their mindset
Yes.
and then monitoring their habits.
Yes.
Because of course, when you're in the room and I experienced that, the room is so calm. Rodina gave me a little tea and some cookies. And and I
Yes,
felt so at peace,
Yes.
relaxed.
Yeah.
And everything she was telling me and asking me to agree, I was agreeing. And I left feeling like, okay, I can do this. But you go back to the real world
Yes.
and then, it's back to all the old habits.
Yes.
So how long that effect of one session will last in someone and how much of, self-work and energy you need to put on to make sure that you don't go back to old habits and you don't somehow sabotage the mindset and your new beliefs and experience that you're supposed to be having.
Well, I go for my clearings to Rodina like once a month.
Oh,
And she goes and sees me for once a month.
so
You know what I mean?
ideally once a month you have that reshifting.
I think for me, yes. That's what I'm recommending.
Yeah, just to clarify, Anna. So basically, Millennium Met is all about energy, right? And
It's a
everything is
modality.
energy.
Everything is energy based from quantum physics. Energy is matter, matter is energy. Hence, we can manipulate it. We use the scalar energy and we tap it into macro, micro, and intrinsic energetic systems. Macro means like something in the ether, like Reiki, that you
Okay.
can bring it in to clear out your energy. That's what Reiki does. Then there's micro is inside our body into subatomic levels.
Okay.
Right? And then intrinsic energetic systems will be the chakras and the auras and the acupuncture points. Millennium Method tackles all of that.
All
and
of
it's
that.
the only modality that can really encompass everything from the 7 levels that I mentioned kanina, the physical, mental, emotional, psychological, karmic, psychic. Because it's the only modality that does that.
So it's not about a quick fix. It's changing. It's like making small changes every day and improving every day
Absolutely.
to design, to somehow guide and enable you to have the life that you deserve.
Yes.
Because everything starts from us, right?
Right.
Like we have the power. Human beings are so powerful. Since we are all energy, we are so powerful to make it or break it. And then the Millennium Method does is actually like give you access to that knowledge so that you can shift your energy to really become and have the life that you want and deserve.
Yes, it's actually like upgrading your consciousness, making you really aware and awakened and really like see it like more of like it's not a big deal. That's the whole goal talaga in every session that I do with my client is to, when they come out, is they're neutral to whatever issues they have.
So I talk about my opening, stop asking permission. So we don't need permission. We need to start now.
We give the permission, we give ourselves the permission.
The permission to
Yes.
start, to be active and
We give
to
ourselves the
change.
permission of the mistakes that we've done in the past. Sometimes also the deservingness also becomes an issue because we don't want that to happen again. I don't want this to happen again. I don't want this traumatic thing to happen again. And usually anything that's traumatic is connected to shame and guilt, always. The one that actually limits us to our deservingness would be shame and guilt.
Okay.
So we have to accept, understand, and validate our past mistakes, our past traumas, the things that happened to us in the past.
And then leave
That's
it there.
the permission.
That's the permission. Leave it there. And do we need to deal with it or
We just accept.
just accept? Okay.
Then, if let's say you get triggered,
Okay.
you get triggered about something, right? Then it goes back to the trauma. That's the thing. So you were asking, leave it eh? Well, yes, you can leave it. You're neutral na. You're good at it na. Okay. But sometimes also, and we can't avoid that we get triggered again.
So what do we do?
So we address the trigger. We just address the trigger. We self-regulate.
Okay. So discipline. It takes a lot
Yes.
of discipline.
Absolutely. And knowledge. Yeah. And also and curiosity. You really, I can tell you're very curious.
yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Super good. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So, with curiosity kasi, when you start asking questions, it just comes in. It will just fall into your lap.
So, question, Anna. Why do you think that we do not create the life we deserve?
Most of the time, what we create is what people tell us what to create. It's really that. Especially with the Filipino families, right? It's a very religious country, right? It's really coming from a certain system, a certain way of life that you need to follow. You just follow the rules, be that box, do that, and you'll be okay.
So somehow, like, we are manipulated by fear, right? Fear of not fitting, fear of being judged, fear of failing, fear of starting again,
Fear of disappointments.
fear of disappointment,
Yes.
of getting hurt. Does Millennium Method can address that?
Absolutely. So that's also, we also tackle the emotional levels, which is really about, and the emotion levels, the fear is what we really want to address. And this is where we also teach you how to self-regulate, because emotions are what? Energy in motion. It's meant to be expressed. It's not meant to be suppressed. And but the thing is, when we grew up, it was always like, oh, ba't ka umiiyak? Nako, ba't ka iiyak? Hindi ka pwede umiyak, ha? You can't show any weaknesses. Ba't ka nagagalit? You can't get mad. That's bad. But then again, these are emotions. God gave us those emotions, even being angry. So we have to validate and accept what we're feeling. And when we do this, then we feel that we are deserving. So when we start accepting and validate what we feel, we nurture ourselves for that. We reparent our inner child. Let's say if you have a child, you see a child that's angry or let's say sad. What do you do?
Yeah, me, I always validate my daughter's feeling, even my friends, even if sometimes medyo OA sila. I said, you know what, but it's still a feeling. I need to validate because you're entitled of your feeling.
Yes. So if
Because
let's say,
you care in love for the person, right?
So if you see a child that's sad, what do you do to the child?
Yeah, I would try to comfort the child,
you hug.
right? I hug.
So that's the same thing you do for you. Even if you're mad, you also have to recognize your feelings, your emotions. If you're scared, the more you have to recognize that, because fear turns into anxiety, and then anticipatory anxiety leads to panic, right? And it can lead to a panic attack.
And it can freeze you also, right?
Absolutely.
And you lose your power. It just popped in my mind, like that movie Inside Out.
Oh,
with
yeah.
all right? They all
that-
need, so you really need to acknowledge, feel everything. And the more you do that, the more whole you become.
That's an awesome movie. Like, I really love that movie. You really have to validate
Everything.
Because if you validate these emotions, then you are deserving. Because what happens is, like, even if you want to feel that we deserve, that we're worthy, but deep down there, if you're constantly bullying yourself, criticizing yourself, then you're not really holistically really going for it, even if you are intentionally want to believe that you deserve. So if I have any advice, it's about really focus on your needs. If it's about deserving, focus on your needs. What do you need to do versus what you want? Because if you always focus on what we want, that's where suffering comes in. So needs first, our needs within, self-regulation on our emotions. Why am I feeling this way? What triggered me? Is it because my friend said this? Why do I have to be triggered about? It's about wrestling in your inner psyche.
Understanding,
Yes.
deep inside, the reason why you function or you react came that person.
Yes. So let's say if you have fear, then we don't want to ignore our fear. We don't want to suppress it. And that's what everyone does.
It's what society tells us,
and
right?
it's how we cope.
Yeah,
Also,
it's
no?
like the blueprint of society.
Yes, because
you're
we-
not allowed.
Because we have to be strong.
Yes,
Right?
always strong mindset of being strong. And a lot of people don't realize that it's okay. The strongest people, they fall apart.
Yes.
Right? And then they rebuild and they go again out there for the battle.
Yes.
In a war, you don't win every battle.
Exactly. So it's really about deserving, is also about embracing your vulnerability. Really, that's being intimate with yourself. If it's really a journey towards deservingness, it's about really like being intimate with yourself.
If you could advise our amigas out there, what are the steps that they need to do in a daily basis to actually help them to regulate themselves, to help them, to fight old habits that will hinder evolution and somehow to achieve the life that they deserve? Is there a technique? Do they need to write it down or do they need to, I don't know, have a journal?
Okay, kasi they're different and all. It can be from a scenario of someone who is super anxious. It can be like that, because I notice a lot of clients who come in already, parang they're a bit of ADD, a bit neurodivergent already.
Yes.
I think we all are also anyway, because of a lot of things happening together
Right now, right?
especially
Information.
after the pandemic. So I notice a lot do get burned out. But if it's really the root of that, then I believe that it comes from them needing to feel that they are deserving, so they need to do all these things. One thing that I would address is focus on your needs. So you have to start the day with, it's like going on putting on your full armor, making sure you have all these tools with you that can help support you. You start the day also by being like, start an hour of just slow down stuff, like maybe meditation or anything that will help you just like come down in the point of being ready for the day.
Yeah, even like prayers, right?
Prayer, absolutely.
Yeah.
Prayer. For me, it's a cup of coffee.
For me, it's like I'm thankful. Usually when I start
Gratitude.
my day is gratitude. I'm like,
That's
thank you
nice.
for this day. Thank you, Lord, for these blessings. Thank you, Lord, even for the problems. If
Yeah.
I have problems, it means that I have the power to fix them and I'm alive. So you need to have something to start your day right.
Always.
How important positiveness of your home to, to enable you to actually go through the day, and then empower you to become that person that you need to make your dreams come true.
It's really important. Really. Your home is important. Like, because that's supposed to be your safe space.
Do we need to avoid negative people? Because you're talking about energy, right? Negativity of other people impact you?
Absolutely. Especially if you live with them, yes. So you don't want we don't go for like, you don't want to nip in the bud naman of people who are toxic to you, especially if they're your mom or your dad or even it can be toxic also between you and your child.
Okay.
But it's really about first addressing the whole projection. Why is it toxic? Where is it coming from? Is it about you being stressed and worried of their welfare, or is it them constantly nagging and telling you what to do, or is it because they're just super mabigat and they're going through something and they're going through depression?
Okay.
So it really is a case-to-case basis, but it's first of all, it's really about forming boundaries first.
Okay.
You have to form boundaries and
Okay.
make sure you fill up your cup. You have to, again, we go back to focusing our need. When your cup is full, that's when you engage with them. But you want to make sure that you are also neutral. You're not emotionally engaged to their story. Because if you're emotionally engaged, then you get low bat after that, because that's a parasitic energy, or you get really high strung, or you get so involved in it because you're emotional about it. Does it make sense?
It does.
So you have to make sure that you are strong first when you deal with them. And that's really tricky because you live with them. Like, it's because I live with my parents. I have my husband, my 2 girls, and my parents are senior citizens. So it's really about finding the ways of communicating with them, but also having my space.
Okay.
The thing with relationships, and it gets really toxic, is when if we don't listen anymore.
Okay.
We just always like project, and we're throwing our projections. And we throw our projections, it comes from our traumas. And then when they throw their projection to you, it comes from their trauma. So no one's really listening. So there has to be a point of communication when we need to listen. But
Okay.
then again, it always goes back to you first. How will you know that? You have to
Yes.
know your trauma first. So the key is really knowing yourself, being curious, focus on your needs, right? And then let's say throughout the day, I want my day to be, you want to set the momentum always. So gratitude is perfect. Prayer is perfect. So, and then you set an intention, like, okay, like even those small intentions, like at the end of the day or during the day, I'm going to the mall. So my intention is I'm going to get a really cool ass parking slot, and I'm going to get it easy. 3 things, small things. It doesn't have to be big things.
Okay.
Right? And then at the end of the day, you've done it. You congratulate yourself for that. Hey, awesome, I did that. That's awesome. Because you want to set that momentum of validation. You call that internal validation. You validate yourself.
And you wanted to set also the energy to flow in the way that it will help you and to elevate you.
Yes.
Right?
Inner validation is important because we grew up seeking for
Other people's validation.
yes, but when we constantly do that, they always, even to the person that you love the most, if they're going through something, the expectations that you have on them were not met. Yeah, so you get parang disappointed.
Okay.
Right?
And through the day, maybe, is it okay to set like maybe some kind of intention in addressing something that usually, for a fact, because we are our biggest critics, right? Through the day, to set intention to address some flaws so that we can actually somehow like improve. Because how you said, it starts with you, it starts with your needs. And when you focus on your needs, naturally, we are our number one critics.
Exactly. So that actually gets us away from feeling deserving, because we are bullying ourselves constantly. Like studies show that I think 90-something% throughout the day, we're always saying negative things to ourselves. So can you imagine, like, you're with your friend who's always telling you, hey, you know, you have ugly hair, I don't like your skin, why is your skin oily? You know, constantly telling that. Wouldn't you want to hang out now with your friend?
Yes.
So, but we are like that to ourselves. But we have to catch it. Because these are automatic thoughts. Studies show that if you face the mirror naked, and then, because usually, di ba, when we face the mirror naked, we only look at the things that we don't like to see.
Yeah.
I have to fix my tummy. my breasts are too big. You know, ganyan na, di ba? So, what we need to do is, like, we have to focus on the positives.
Okay.
And studies show that if you do that every day for the next 30 days, it really forms a new neurotransmitters there.
Okay.
On really, like seeing the other side of yourself, really believing in yourself. So sometimes you have to fake it till you make it first.
So, Anna, please walk us through, like, what is it like a session using the Millennium method? Like, what to expect? You know, what exactly in those 1 hours, what happens?
When the client comes in, we start with the intention. But even before the clearing itself, I ask for the intention. And then we check already on your energy.
Okay.
We work on you already.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then from then for 1 hour, it's just really about, it's like counseling in a way. Because we take leads from what you say. We take leads also from your body language, right? Because we really get attuned to you. Basically, it's like we listen to what your higher self is telling us.
Okay.
That you need to know.
Okay.
And then we work on it and we tell you. So sometimes also we tell you, okay, this is the issue, then you can confirm and you can say no also. It's okay, it doesn't matter. But what is pulled out from the cards, from the deck of cards, is an
So you have a
extension-
deck of cards.
Yes, we
but
have
it's
a
not
deck of cards.
tarot.
It's
right?
a tarot. They're fractal cards.
Ah, okay.
They're fractal cards. Fractal cards that has codes, mathematical algorithm protocols of those issues that says on the card. If the card says breathe, it's all those mathematical algorithm codes of that.
Okay.
And it has an art on top of it. So it's a living art. It's a fractal. It's a man-made fractal. So whatever comes up are your weaknesses. So I will tell it to you. Even if you say no, yes, or even if I interpret it in the wrong way, it doesn't matter because that's what you need. And I download it to you. So
Okay.
the cards are all attuned to me. And in my mind's eye, I download it. I throw it into your auric field. Right? And the only thing that you need to do is to inhale and exhale. Inhale. It's like really assimilating on those downloads. And the only thing, ganun lang. So it's like, in a way, counseling, like you mentioned, you say things that feels like it needs to come out for us to clear some more, then we do it. So it's just an hour of that. And of course, you need to hydrate. Right? You need to hydrate because when we play with energy, with that modalities, we tend to detox.
Okay.
We tend to poop, pee, sweat out, you know, because it really also, we are also working on you physically. Remember, we're working on your subatomic levels of your body.
And what can people expect after a session?
Okay, so usually we always have the phase. The phase would be like super like bangag, you know, like super neutral. Like if I tell you, that's how we know that it worked, that we did a good job. If let's say someone comes in and has an issue and super frustrated, and then at the end of the clearing, she becomes parang bangag. That's when I tell, okay, think of that issue again, and then she'll think of it in 2 seconds. What comes into your mind, and they go like, wala, they can't think of it. That means we did a good job already.
Okay.
Yeah. So they just become neutral. Their mind can't think of what it is na okay na yung issue.
So, ibig sabihin na trash. Kind of na trash?
Not trash, just like, I don't care.
I don't care kind of thing.
It's not the I don't care. It's like,
It doesn't affect you as much.
yeah, wala na. Oo, it doesn't affect you.
As much.
And when you are neutral na, that's when things really move faster. For some strange reason, that's how it works.
It works. So it's very important to keep your energy at the right levels.
Yes.
Because the bad energy or the wrong energy are gonna hinder things to come your way.
So if you don't want things to happen, the more we don't want it to happen, somehow it happens.
The more it happens, it's like
Yes.
you're calling for it. So when you stop thinking of it
Yes.
and you somehow forget about it, or you become neutral,
It's neutral. It's that neutrality. Sometimes also they come to me for physical issues, let's say lower back pain.
Yes.
Right? So that's what we do to the body. We make the body neutral so the body can heal on its own.
Okay.
It goes on a homeostasis. But the lower back can be also an issue of family dynamics, support, abandonment, things like that. So we clear,
and that's how
clear,
it
clear.
manifests in your body,
Yes.
through that pain.
Usually, actually, because our mind is so stubborn, we don't really see the signals. Our body will tell us there's something wrong with
Yeah,
us.
that's so true.
So, yeah, that's why panic attacks happen. Because we're already like getting consumed and we're not taking care of ourselves.
Is there like an age that you can or cannot avail from, like to consult? Is that like a minimum age, or
No.
anybody, even a child,
Even a child can come and see us,
go as a group, or you need to go individually?
But
Pwede
it's a
rin?
group, but it's like a collective real. So
Like a
it's
husband and a
general-
wife,
Pwede
a
rin.
child and
Yes,
a mother
yes.
or father.
Yes. I also get a lot of clients who are trying to conceive or who
Okay.
are pregnant, because I worked already on the baby and the mother, so that we take out the whole negative influences of ancestral trauma.
Okay.
So we can do a lot of things because
Oh my
it's
gosh,
energy. We
it's
can even
energy.
do remote healing. Remote healing is like, you can tell me, parang, Anna, can you work on my daughter? And your daughter doesn't have to see me.
Okay.
Pwedeng ganon. Pwede rin, like, let's say, like, you can be the surrogate. I can work on your daughter through you.
Through me.
Yeah. So in a way, also, I cut the ties of any influences that you have with her, any karmic influences. So both of you get the downloads. It's really interesting.
So it's not about telling the future or talking about the past. It's about addressing the issue now
Yes.
so that you can move forward
Yes.
and be the best version of yourself.
That's the goal.
That's the role. So that's
That's
what
the goal.
Millennium Method is all about.
Yes.
It's really like shape you as into the beautiful person, energy that, you should be, so that you can have the best life, that you imagine.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So if you can tell somebody, like tell our amigas out there, give like a piece of advice. How can they get the best life, the life that they deserve?
The best life, my advice will always be curious. Be curious.
Okay.
Okay. Just be curious and because when you ask the right questions, you get the right answers. When you're curious also, you know more about yourself. Try new things as well. Because the more you discover new things, you discover more about yourself. And then another thing would be reach out. Us also, kasi we are so conditioned to be strong, right?
Yes.
To be strong and handling it, that we feel that we don't deserve to ask for help. Seek out. And then the thing that also I mentioned before, focus on your needs. You just really have to focus on what you need to do, how you can self-validate, take care of yourself. Read more. Knowledge is the key also. Be curious. There are a lot of information online in social media that you want, like that's why when you messaged me, I was like, yeah, for sure, because of your intention. Focus on, like, learn more about these kind of things. There are a lot of books, self-help.
Tools that can help you, right?
Yes, have those. Then go out and reach out. We have to reach out and find some support, find our tribe. We're in the same language, so you can build yourself together.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much,
Oh, thank you
Anna, for
also.
this
Thanks for having
conversation.
me.
When I was with Miss Ordina, I really felt that, things start to change and a completely shift in my energy, enabling me to, for the right people to connect with me, for the opportunities of, work to come and arrive. And I really appreciate that. And that's why I wanted to share with my amigas out there about, the tools that they can use to actually empower them to have the life that they deserve. Okay, amigas. So the Millennium Method isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming honest. Honest about what hurts, honest about what you want, honest enough to change. You don't create life that you deserve by waiting to be ready. You create it by deciding you are worth it now. So let me leave you with this. You don't need to prove your strength anymore. Now it's time to prove your standards. Because surviving is not the same as living. And being needed is not the same as being fulfilled. Time doesn't change your life. decisions do. So the Millennium method is a decision. You're not asking for too much. You're asking for alignment, for respect, for stability, for purpose, for a life that feels like yours. And that is not selfish. That is self-respect. So if you feel that fire in your chest right now, that discomfort, that awakening, don't ignore it. That's not dissatisfaction. That's clarity. You're not too late. You're definitely not too old. You're not too complicated. You're not too broken. You are powerful. And powerful women don't wait for permission. They decide. The life you deserve is not a dream. It is a standard. And from this moment forward, you either lower it or you rise to meet it and create the life that you deserve at your own way, at your own rhythm. Thank you so much, amigas, for this amazing conversation. I really hope that you benefit from it as much as I did. And I really just want to thank once again this beautiful place, Kenneth Cobonpue Showroom here at the heart of BGC, which is the home of Amigas podcast for this season 2. I really hope that you had a great time, and I am looking forward to see you our next meeting next Saturday. So bye-bye, amigas. Have a nice, wonderful week ahead.